The following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. They want us to spray on some suck puppies nut juice.
4 guys and a movie. 4 guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. 4 guys and a movie.
Hello, everyone. It is 4 a.m. once again, and that means it's time for the 4 a.m. podcast, where me and my friends watch movies from our past and see how they hold up to our older, more cynical selves. I am your host, as always, Tony. Joined with me today is...
Brian.
Charles Entertainment Cheese.
And Joe.
Did you think we were doing Five Nights at Freddy's today? What?
I don't know. I don't know where they came.
Okay.
Selling all this Cat Piss Man merchandise, I guess, says me. He's got the itch.
Save it for the plug.
You probably washed that.
Probably should watch
Smell
that.
cat piss.
Yeah,
It
it really
might just be
smells
the
in here.
But
Too
guys,
much ammonia.
last time he fought against his sworn enemies, this time he'll fight with them.
Kind of.
He's faster, sharper, and deadlier.
Kinda.
We watched Blade 2 from the year 2002.
It's more bickering than fighting.
Directed by Guillermo del Toro, who, of course, we all remember from Hellboy. But he also brought us Mimic, The Devil's Backbone, Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific
That's the one
Rim.
with the hand eyes, the hand with eyes
Yep.
on it.
Yes.
I never saw that, but I
And he
saw
was
it.
Pappy McPoyle.
Yeah, why do we always watch the bad Guillermo del Toro movies?
Well, because we roll to get good ones, or get movies in general. And since there are only, like, 2 good ones, it's a lot harder to
Yeah.
Are you knocking Hellboy?
Well, Hellboy 2, I would.
I don't think any of us recommended Hellboy.
Well, I wasn't there,
recommended
but
Hellboy.
I would have recommended Hellboy if I were
Alright.
there.
And yes, Hellboy 2 is a good one too, but I'm sure that's on the list, even though it hasn't come
I don't
up
know.
I mean, there's so many movies on the list to
It's
go
hard
through
to
to get
find.
to it.
It's hard to
So,
get anything.
so many movies.
yet. But
But you can also, write in or call in and sponsor an episode. Then we'll get us to watch
Right.
it.
A donation of $20 will make us watch whatever movie you want, including Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
I mean, no porn in
yeah, with a few caveats. All right, but what's your personal history with this movie, Brian?
I was all about Blade when it came out. Like Wesley Snipes doing like karate and shit, and he had like guns and swords and shit. I was all about it. Like,
Okay, Rob.
I saw this in theaters with a group of people. Not you guys?
I don't know, it might have been.
I know the
Might have been.
Stanleys were there because I remember.
I'm pretty sure the Stanleys were there.
I
when
remember
saw it.
John was really enjoying that last fight.
Yeah.
I knew you guys know too, so it could have been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was
I think most of us at the table, if not all of us, were in attendance.
and that was the last time I saw it.
All right, Joe.
Same here.
Yeah, I think I've seen it since then, but God help me if I could remember pretty much any of this movie, so I can't say for sure. I think I have like short-term amnesia or something for this.
I've seen it at least 5 times, all within like a 2-year span. I totally forgot everything about this movie.
Yeah, I've probably seen it more than once, like in the year 2002, and then never again.
I was able to remember a surprising amount of this movie, considering I did just watch it once in the theater and was like, nope.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because you saw it in the theater. If you saw it on home video,
Yep.
each copy comes with a handful of forget-me-now pills.
Well, because that's the thing. Literally, like, there are a few scenes I could tell you, like, exactly how they're shot. I could draw the picture for you. But, like,
Did you?
bulk of the
Really?
storyline,
How long will that
I
take?
could not fucking remember.
Mm.
Depends on how much you're paying me. But so, a brief history on this movie itself. Of course, based on a Marvel character created by Marv Wolfman in 1973.
He probably says Wolfman.
It's Wolfman.
He probably says Wolfman, not
Yeah.
Wolfman.
Well,
He's like,
whatever.
I specifically designed them to be vampires because I hate Wolfman.
Well, yeah, his first comic was freaking drawing a Dracula and shit. So, like,
Was that the name of the comic?
Dracula and shit.
Marvel Comics presents Dracula and shit.
Exactly.
Spider-Ham would show up every once in a while.
I'd read that though.
So would I.
Damascus, the lead vampire guy, bad guy, whatever.
What's his name?
Damascus?
Philo Moskowitz?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fievel Moskowitz. The Nosferatu.
Of the clan Moskowitz.
But at one point, he was almost played by Tim Curry. keeping the theme of last week's
Oh, that would have
episode.
been amazing.
Yeah, it would.
You
Wait,
would
so
have eaten scenery so much. Oh,
who did he actually? Who was that? What character?
the old vampire.
Oh,
The lead bad guy Nosferatu, yeah.
we missed. Oh, we missed
How
out.
awesome would that have been?
He's so
Way better.
watchable, awesome.
Speaking of interesting people being in this, at one point Michael Jackson was going to make a cameo appearance.
Are
As
you
a-
sure he didn't? Because
In that club.
In the club as a vampire pimp.
for every fight scene,
If you look close enough, I don't know, maybe.
so he just donated his sound effects.
No, he was unable to do it, and the scene was ultimately cut, so it doesn't really matter.
He was trying to go to sleep for so too long.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes, we kind of brought this up while watching it, but was so busy he was actually filming 3 different movies besides this one at the same time, which is why there are huge chunks where like you don't see his face because they just got some other guy to fill in for him.
Yeah.
And it is a
Not even
role.
a stunt double. Not a stunt double. Just some other
Just
dude.
a poorly animated simulacrum of
Yes. Is this Wesley Snipes' first movie with us?
Yeah, I think it
I
is.
believe it is.
And just in time for tax season, too.
No, but he did, between this movie and Blade 1, he did like 8 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busy man.
Also, we kind of
They weren't any good, though.
we touched on this idea, but the UV light used to attack the vampires was also misused at one point while filming this and blinded 30 members of the cast and crew.
Well, seriously?
Seriously. But also with, I don't know if you guys noticed, there was a lot of little nods to other comics and so on.
No.
Well, there were. In the House of Pain scene, there was a stained glass window that looks like the Eye of Akamotto from Doctor Strange. Also, Scud was, well, first of all, named after Scud the Disposable Assassin, another comic character. And he was wearing a shirt from the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense, of course, from Hellboy.
Would you have known the stuff without doing research? Or
Some of it, yes.
Okay.
Scud, I mean, like, I could guess. Like, I know of Scud the Disposable Assassin, but, like, I would not have made that connection.
Well, that wasn't even a Marvel property, was it?
Yeah,
No.
I just assumed he was named after a really shitty ballistic missile.
Yeah. I just assumed they were trying to think of a name between Scum and Crud. It's like, all right, you're Scud.
But also, the big one I want to end on is Stephen Norrington, the director of the first Blade movie, decided to pass on doing this one because he wanted to move on to bigger and better things. Anyone know what any of those things are?
Nope.
We probably talked about them during something.
We haven't yet, but we will. Because after a direct-to-DVD movie, he went on to film League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
and was never heard from again.
And
Joe,
that was it.
Joe, I'm so sorry about that, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I made you watch that.
Didn't you bring these two as
Yeah,
well?
but everyone.
Nope.
There
No,
you go.
I did not see that.
Okay.
I made everyone go see the movie.
I believe
No,
I was in another state at the time.
I was excited about it too, Brian.
So
It
we all-
looked good on paper.
I only saw it.
I've never felt worse after a movie. Like, I was like, oh,
We all have
I'm
one,
so
Brian. Don't
sorry.
worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was Transformers 2, so.
And I warned you guys, but I did say, how about Sucker Punch? That could be cool.
I was
Anyway.
just like the credits came on. I went, I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, at least, unlike me at Transformers 2, you got all the way to the credits.
But, so, does anyone want to guess at how much money this movie cost to make?
Way more than it should. Like,
It's a good start, but we need an
They
actual number.
overpaid for some CGI.
Well, how much money did the Powerpuff Girls chip in?
not enough.
Don't know.
Or was that
$50 million.
I was going to say 55. Still will.
Still say
$55
55.
million.
Yeah.
65? Dang.
55.
55?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 60.
Wow, that's rough. It was $54 million. Yeah.
Damn it. I was gonna do 53 just to be a jerk.
Hold on. How much better would it have been if, when the last vampire guy comes out, like, it was him from Powerpuff Girls? Like,
Yeah, just him. Yeah. With the claws, yeah.
Dude, if that was Tim Curry?
He would have done that.
Oh.
However, that matter when Blade falls into the tub at the end and comes out, if it was just him instead, I'd accept
And
it.
Norman Reedus could have been Mojo Jojo.
I think he would be that bumpkin guy.
Fuzzy Lumpkin.
Fuzzy Lumpkin.
I don't remember the show well enough.
Anyway, does anyone want to guess at how much money this movie made?
$40 million.
I think it was a hit. I
Got our money.
think like 80 million.
I'll say 70.
It's $155 million.
I would have guessed.
All right,
They made money.
They made money.
I
We
thought-
got a third.
Well, I thought we had a third because the second and third were part of the deal to make them. I thought they had to make two of them. I thought.
Well, to be honest, like, I thought we only got this movie not because of the success of the first one, but because, like, Spider-Man had just come out. What year did X-Men come out, the first one?
It was before.
Yeah, so, like,
Maybe 2000?
yeah, superhero movies were, like, suddenly popular now.
Wasn't this first? Wasn't this
the
one?
the first Blade was
Blade.
first.
Oh,
Blade
yeah,
was
yeah,
first.
right.
This one might have been just after X-Men. Like, it was still the beginning.
But this was like, Marvel was like, oh, these movies are doing well. What do we got? Well, we could do another Blade. We already got, we already have the
Well, have
acting.
we not sold off?
yeah. It's a Fox and Paramount.
Yeah, like in all fairness, though, those as dumb as we say those deals were, it kept them afloat. So,
Oh, yeah.
Not well
At,
enough.
at the time,
apparently,
it made sense.
but yeah, where'd that money go? Who's in this movie? Joe?
Wesley Snipes. Done.
Fat chat update. That was a delicious salted caramel bar.
I should have paid more attention to you shoving your face.
Correct.
You wouldn't have waited for him. Like,
Yeah. All right. So
I
we
would've been
got
more poignant about it.
Wesley Snipes as Blade, Chris Christopherson as Whistler, Ron Perlman as Reinhardt. You got Lenore Varela as Nisa, Norman Reedus as Scud, and Donnie Yen making a return to the podcast as Snowman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the name?
Yeah. Wait, his name was Snowman?
His name was Snowman.
Wow. Okay.
Which had the symbol on his armor was actually the kanji for snow.
It was a snowman. They put a magic hat on him.
He began to cut people with a katana.
You're thinking, I think it was Jack Frost.
Shut up, Swan.
Hey, what's
All right.
that? What's that not Snake Eyes one?
Storm Shadow?
Mm-hmm. Is he based on that?
Sure. So, I always stop talking nonsense and try and get into this movie.
Snake Eyes is
Not
not
possible.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
not understand the concept of this podcast?
When you say the not Snake Eyes one, that
And you know what I'm talking
You knew exactly
about.
what he meant, too. You knew what he meant.
I didn't. In different contexts, maybe I would have gotten that, but I was totally like, what other Nicolas Cage movie? What? Why not?
If someone says Snake Eyes, are you a Nicolas Cage movie? Like,
Yeah,
We're
what?
talking movies first, yes.
I mean, technically he is right, but that's not where I would have gone.
No.
I was not making the connection between samurai and swords. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, so we start out in Prague, I believe it was,
Czech
At a
Republic,
blood
yeah.
bank.
at a blood bank, where they're trying to get donations. Apparently, they'll even take them in jars, which
That's how you know it's a vampire place.
Mhm.
yeah, that's how you know there's some shady shit
Don't
going
give a
on.
fuck.
We meet Jared. He's lost like 300
A
pounds,
whole lot of weight.
taking a walk every day and
Whoa.
eating a Subway sandwich.
I
Chasing
don't have.
children.
I don't have any Doritos.
Tony said it.
Come on, Rob. I'm serving them up for you
Tony
here.
said it.
He's hanging out with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Chasing that school bus to do some weight.
We're swapping photo albums. What are we talking about right now?
So yeah, this guy, like, he looks all scared. He's going down. They're taking him into this place. And there's a fucking, like, hallway just covered in blood. Like, he looks down this one door, and they're, like, mopping up. Like, someone got ran over by a steamroller in there or something. It's
I
like
mean,
that
like,
much blood.
Here's how you know
Yeah.
how sketchy this place is. Because dude they take looks like a meth head.
Yeah.
Like, he looks strung out on, like, you name the drug, he's on it. His eyes are sunken in, his skin is all beat up.
He's got a chingina.
He does have a chingina. Like, they're like, come on, come with us.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not an expert by any means on blood banks, but I'm pretty sure once you start coughing in the waiting room, they might question taking you in at
Yeah.
that time.
I mean, and when the uniform the security guards wear is borderline Nazi
Yes.
field
Borderline?
officer uniform. Well, it doesn't have a swastika.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but like, and this
They
dude's
were
wearing.
former SS.
Yeah.
This dude's wearing a coat. It looks like a squirrel pelt.
Yeah.
He just fashioned by himself.
All right, so they get him in this torture chamber.
Yeah,
Looking
they
thing.
lock him down. We see Dr. Kruger's about to do whatever he's going to do. With
They're
his-
like, you have this strange blood enzyme that we find most desirable.
See, I'm going to get my glove with 4 syringes on it, that's hooked up to like this industrial pump.
Yeah.
What is
thing.
what is this?
Well, it's unnecessary
It's a comic
stuff.
book.
Yeah.
So well, Jared was like, all right, I was cool playing along till you took that out.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? I'm not at all what you think I am. I'm a vampire thing.
I'm a different vampire. I actually have
Vampire,
powers.
I actually have powers, unlike you all.
Fucking starts throwing people across the room.
I'm what a vampire should be.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
you know,
they-
except for the Chingina. Of
They
course.
shoot him with bullets. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
Then he reveals his jaw is bifurcated, and as Rob described it, he has a chingina.
Like, Blade vampires are one of the shittiest vampires.
They're not vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just
I mean, for one where you're supposed to take them seriously, they're like the shittiest vampire.
I mean, like, Buffy vampires are more hardcore than Blade vampires.
some Buffy vampires are pretty hardcore.
Yeah, like, legit.
all right. Straight up, these are not even these are just cosplay kids. Seriously, they're just Hot Topic cosplay kids with teeth in.
You would know.
And severe
I would know.
allergies.
I've got the teeth to prove it.
What do we think of this new vampire with the bifurcated jaw?
It's a Chingina.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Vagina, whatever you want to call it.
there's too much going on with that. Like, I thought it was kind of unnecessary. Like, if he just had, like, maybe his jaw splits apart and, you know, he can give you a bigger bite or something. He's got, like, tentacles in there. He's
There's
got...
a lot going
It
on.
looks
There's like a
like-
little Hydra creature in there.
It is
And,
based on
Del Toro's Wet Dream. Yeah, we
well,
get it.
besides that, but no, there is like I want to say like a Swedish version of a vampire that is like or Polish maybe. I don't know, but there's some other.
The Polish would come up with a vampire like
well,
this.
now I'm just picturing, like, the Swedish
Didn't
chef
eagle.
as a vampire.
Oh, man.
Whatever, dude.
I can't even make my voice racist enough to do an approach.
I'm glad. No, but there is.
Wait,
like,
let me have another beer.
There's and wherever this story stems from, there is another version of a vampire where it's it has like a snake-like opening jaw mouth thing and like a little tongue syringe deal, or I guess more like a mini mosquito.
Sure.
thingy?
I mean,
Whatever.
somewhere in South America, there's
I
a
can't tell you.
variant of vampire that eats poop. It doesn't mean that's what you need to go with.
No, but the other thing about that was in the original storyline, this was supposed to be Morbius, but Marvel wanted to like hold off on that in case they wanted to make a Morbius movie because Marvel movies were starting to become a bigger thing.
Yeah. Which I
I'm
thought
guessing
like,
he's
like
a
year ago,
vampire.
They were still
Yes.
Yeah.
they were still like had that in the works, like to do a Morbius movie.
Yeah, and I believe in the comics he sucks blood through his hands. Yes.
Yeah.
He sounds
Or-
like a mid 1990s WCW wrestler.
Well, he's a
Close
mid
enough.
1990s. Let's throw out some characters, Marvel.
Yeah.
character. It's like everything's cool now. So there's a vampire.
There's
He's-
that Spawn guy. Everyone likes him. Let's
Well,
do something
I
like
believe
that.
he was made
Morbius came
before-
out before him. He's been
yeah.
around a while.
Okay.
But it's just like it's a design that Del Toro came up with. He showed the team a sketch, and they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll do that." But on like a third of the budget. So it's just,
But yeah, like all the CGI in this movie, it's very clear that that's not actually happening.
Yeah.
yeah.
Again, I don't want to hold that too much against this movie because that is just a product of the times.
Yeah, it
but
is.
like, when you know it looks that bad, don't use it that much.
Yeah.
And then after this leech monster kills all these vampires, we get thrown into the retcon credits, where Blade proceeds to tell us that the last movie didn't happen the way we saw it happen.
Well, no,
Well-
he did shoot himself. They just say later that he turned into a vampire anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So either the gunshot wound to the head didn't cause him to die as a person, or the silver bullet didn't kill him as a vampire.
Maybe
was
he didn't
just-
shoot himself in the head.
he's just a vampire with a bullet lodged in his brain.
Maybe it went through his cheek.
Yeah, he did like a
must be
fight
it.
club on himself.
That must be it.
There's no way that gun's fitting in his mouth.
Blade.
Am I wrong? Is he looking over the same gun while he's having this flashback?
Yeah, that's a
Looks
little
like-
later on, but yeah, he saved the gun.
Yeah.
So he went back for the gun, but didn't notice that Whistler was gone, or that
That's
he
his favorite gun.
survived, or
I don't know.
okay,
I think he might even still be using the same warehouse from the first one.
that
Maybe.
might be.
Well, he just had to go like clean Whistler up. I don't know. But that's when he noticed he was gone, and now he's hunting him.
Okay, but after we get last time on Blade,
Yeah.
it's hunting time now.
Sure.
He goes out after this group for whatever reason. Well, because he's hunting Whistler, right? He's looking for information. He's tracking
And-
these dudes down.
Immediately, the flaw of the Blade franchise is immediately apparent in that vampires are garbage in this world. Like, you just tag them with a silver bullet, they're immediately disintegrated.
Like, doesn't matter where you hit them.
Yeah.
No, they're just playing like touch football.
Yeah. I would
It's like-
rather they
tag.
just
They're playing tag.
fell down and died.
Right.
Because that would at
Like
least be
an
like, all
old
right, I
Western.
have to land like some kind of a kill shot. It seems to be like, I just need to touch them with silver. And they're just gone.
Brought up a lot of questions from us.
And they have no powers.
They're barely even stronger.
Yeah.
If they even
No.
show them as stronger. They usually don't
Fucking
even
Whistler beats one of them up.
Yeah, they apparently can't jump because, as we see,
Yeah.
they quickly run down a ladder and shit. And like, oh,
I mean,
it's-
the only thing I could say they have going positive for him is some other kinds of injuries they can take and still like function better than a person.
Yeah.
But like for the liabilities that you get, being a vampire, there's nothing good about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you immediately disintegrate when exposed to silver or sunlight.
all right. Well, quickly at this time, I just want to say, because we brought up the director was Guillermo del Toro,
Yep.
and his handprints are all over this thing. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
Just so people know when you start saying terrible things.
No, what? Go on.
So we know.
Okay. But this was written by David S. Goyer. That is one of the few films that Del Toro does not have a writing credit for.
Mhm.
It's written by David S. Goyer, who brought us The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, Looper, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice,
Of course.
and a few other things. Blade Trinity, and also the Nick Fury TV show.
With David Hasselhoff?
Yep.
Oh.
So
That's what got him this job.
I'm just saying. Let's.
Don't
not-
worry, they've abandoned the discotheque.
It's not put the blame on Del Toro. That's all I'm saying.
We watched that.
With just a small
find
donation
a
of
copy?
$20,
You can find a copy
I will go out of my way to
All
find
right.
a copy.
or a working VHS player because I might have it on VHS.
Even
somewhere.
if he wasn't the one that built the car out of turds, he's the one who drove it across the finish line.
Yeah, it's fair. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, we get this ridiculous fight scene where it is just one tap and they're dead.
Mm.
And we started questioning why he doesn't have silver all over.
We're riding in circles on motorcycles. It's just
We're throwing batarangs that come back.
it
and
just sucks.
Loop around and
That you
whatever
obviously
else.
didn't catch.
At one point, he goes fully like Pet Cemetery 2 on this one guy and starts to put his head into the back of the motorcycle
Mhm.
wheel with the helmet on, which I was like, what? Why?
Well, that was so he could show him he's serious because he put his head in there with the helmet
With the
on and
helmet.
it ripped it apart.
Yeah, which I don't think that would have worked, but all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, he gets the information he needs. He's tracking down Whistler, finds him in some weird
Some
facility.
strange vampire facility where you snort blood cocaine.
Yes.
Why not?
Is that what that was? That was blood cocaine?
That's
I
what I
don't
thought it
know.
was.
Sure.
I mean, we get blood jello later, so like
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
So
Yeah.
instead of angel dust,
like,
they call stuff.
Why you
like
can't
anal
just do
dust?
it like any other movie where you just have somebody snort cocaine and then the vampire comes along and drinks their blood?
That would have been fine. Or
Why,
just
you could have had Dr. Roxo in the movie. I'm like, seriously, dude, a lot of cocaine.
come to think of it, this Rush guy that he's threatening kind of looks like Dr. Roxo.
Yeah,
He'd make a good Dr.
I
Roxo.
don't know who Dr. Roxo is.
Metalocalypse.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay.
So anyway, Yeah, he finds Whistler is in some weird vampire back to tank where they're keeping him alive.
Are they? Like, what?
That's what we're told.
This whole storyline is weird as fuck.
He's just floating in Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
They were talking about it a little bit while all of you were talking, but like it still did make a lot of sense from what I could pick out. They were moving him around to keep Blade chasing him.
And I guess they were also like they were trying to like beat him half to death for information and then put him in one of these tanks to revive him.
But why wouldn't they like trap the tank, set up a trap around the tank?
Because they're stupid.
Well, yeah, and like, why wouldn't they just hire a regular person to shoot Blade during the day when he's going to go buy groceries or something? Like
word, huh?
Also, if you're torturing him half to death and then reviving him so you can talk to him again, why go that far? Like, why you don't give him limbs? He doesn't need limbs.
So you're following this dude.
It's like 2 years, he says.
Yeah. You don't have to attack him. Just cut off his supply of those blood syringes.
Yeah.
Make him
or
go
you
crazy.
know where he lives, blow it up. There's a lot of things they could do that they don't do.
And end of the movie, they make it even more confusing by saying it's some twist shit that they say, and it's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing there? Like,
that was like Shyamalan when it ran in for a second. It's like, what a twist!
Yeah, that makes it even worse. Like,
You are the most inefficient people ever, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so he has a really shitty fight and then finds Whistler and takes him home.
Yep. When we get home, we find Scud, played by Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
The guy from Zombie Soap Opera.
Daryl. I'm sorry.
What was the one you had said while we were watching the movie? It was like Zombie Hump Pile or something.
Zombie fuck pile, was it? Or?
Was it like Zombie Hump House or something?
Zombie Hump House, that was it.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, Scud just sucks. And Blade's like, all right, well, I got a syringe that'll just make him not a vampire anymore. Because,
Yeah, we're gonna throw him in this vault thing.
Being a vampire in this world it's awful in every way. It's like, it's not like some big supernatural force. It's got a little virus.
Yeah, it's kind of like just having a cold that will make you live forever.
Like, again, it was 2 years he's been a vampire for.
Yeah.
Not like he just turned.
Nope.
You gotta catch him, like, it hasn't quite taken hold yet. It's 2 fucking years he's been a vampire. So, like, you just cure vampirism. You just cure it. If you can just cure it, then why aren't you curing everyone?
No.
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and, later on when the Reapers start showing up, why didn't they try that on them?
I'm sure all these questions will be answered in Pacific Rim too.
I'm sure they will not.
No.
But
yeah, do you? Not as far as we know, but maybe.
Yeah, here's where.
But like just a quick side note though, like in the first movie, I believe there's a whole point about his love interest, whose name I forget, gets bitten, and he has to give her this cure thing that they have because it's still early in the stages of her getting it, and she has to go through this whole like horrible withdrawal for like a night or two, or maybe more, and like they presented like this big thing, like trying to wean somebody off heroin or something. And here it's just, we're going to lock you in here, give you a shot, and you'll be fine in the morning. See you later.
I'm going to go off and hang out with the gun that you killed yourself with.
I'm going to hump it like Tommy Wiseau humping Lisa's dress.
Woof.
So maybe the bullet lodged in his brain is stopping the vampirism from taking hold.
Sure.
Because it's a silver bullet.
Yeah.
Needless to say, by morning, he's fine.
Well, he's still Chris Christopherson.
Well, yeah, but...
For lack of a better word,
but also,
he's
like,
fine.
when Blade, Blade tells him, like, we're putting you in this thing, the doors are going to open when the sun comes up, whether you're cured or not. So, like, I hope you're better by then. But it's not even like hey, sorry for all this shit. Like, I care about you. Nothing. Just
that's not how Blade and Whistler roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want us to talk about feelings?
No, not necessarily talk about feelings, but at least be like, sorry for this.
He would train him to be a cage fighter, and then like push him away because they don't know how to talk. And then like at the end, he would come back, and then they would hug, and then they'd be like, "All right, we're good."
Only after beating each other for 15 minutes. Yeah.
Batman, I'm going to punch you in the face for a while.
Talk about the feelings. What's wrong with you?
Do you think Blade even told Whistler about 9/11? What happened while I was
Scud?
asleep? Nothing. Powerpuff Girls. That's a show.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, now Whistler meets Scud, and we get the first of many Powerpuff Girls cameos here.
For real, what is the deal with the Powerpuff Girls cameos?
Well, I would much rather be watching the Powerpuff Girls than this movie.
Better animation.
Better
for
animation.
one thing.
Second off, I would much rather watch a movie about the Powerpuff Girls fighting these vampires.
Facts.
That's, yeah.
Well,
Do.
eventually Disney will buy the Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
and maybe it'll happen.
Also, fun side note, apparently they wanted this to be Speed Racer, but the people that own Speed Racer would not approve.
So they made that.
Wait, when did the Speed Racer movie come out?
What? Oh, they want Speed Racer movies to be what he's watching?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Speed Racer cartoon, not movies.
Oh, okay.
It's one movie. It's totally different.
But just that one scene where Pop slaps Spritle
Maybe. I don't know.
over and over again.
I can only hope.
So, of course, Whistler and Scud immediately hate each other. But, that's cut short because there's intruders in the warehouse. Some monkey vampires swinging on the rafters.
Mission Impossible Vamp Protocol.
Mm-hmm.
We got two vampires coming down in their, they're full on stealthy.
They're wearing
ninja
Solid
suits.
Snake costumes.
They're Solid
Or actually Psycho Mantis costumes.
Well, it's like a less scary version of that costume that the guy from Hellboy that has had sand for blood
Snake. Yep.
wears.
Yeah.
That's about similar
Yeah.
to that, yeah.
pretty much.
But also,
Note that, folks, because that will be important later.
yeah, it offers complete resistance to all the UV lights that Blade has set up.
Yeah, kind of helps them get past all his sensors and whatever else to let them get into this warehouse they're working out of.
Theoretically, would allow them to go out during the daytime.
Theoretically,
And they
yes.
even have like retractable irises so they
Mm-hmm.
can close against the bright lights.
Yep.
And they just start fighting.
Well, we cut to clay fighters.
Yeah, well,
And, we see a match.
Yeah, they're getting shot at.
they're doing
jumping
something.
around. They decide to drop their guns and go hand to hand for some reason. Blade
It's-
turns on a giant wall of lights
It's almost exactly like, was it The Matrix 2? Where
with all the Mr. Smiths.
was it all of them? Weren't they fighting in a very similar area in
Not
one of
that I
those
know of.
movies? Like in front of a bunch of lights? Or like in front of a bunch of something?
I don't remember.
I could be thinking
I don't
of
remember a
something.
bunch of
I could be
lights.
thinking
A bunch of
something
something is all of them.
Yeah.
I could
So-
honestly be thinking about seeing this movie in the theater and like just attributing it to The Matrix.
Probably.
Because they have the same terrible cartoony fight scenes.
Yeah. That's again the year 2000s, and we're trying to do CGI.
like-
It's just
Well, I'd say, okay, the difference being when The Matrix came out, these were kind of groundbreaking. When
No,
this movie came out,
It's goofy as hell in The Matrix.
this was, by this point, it was
Art
totally
majors, shut the fuck
cliche.
up. Damn.
What's that?
Picky ass art majors.
yeah, whatever.
It's not art majors. All right, 10 years prior to this, I had seen a Tyrannosaurus Rex come out and look amazing.
It's back to Jurassic Park.
Always.
Always is, yeah.
It's in his blood.
But he has a point here of the intelligence of knowing, like, let's use some practical and some CGI.
Yeah.
Let's use CGI only when we absolutely have to, because we can't do that yet. With practical effects. Here it's just two people fighting, and rather than show two people
Yeah.
fighting, we have two cartoons doing flips and
Mind
shit
you,
that we don't
Donnie
need to
Yen
do.
is on your payroll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
one of these people is just wearing a full bodysuit. So, like, that easily could have been him.
That's a good point.
Like
coulda-
this fight starts out pretty dope. Cause like it's Wesley Snipes doing, karate and shit.
Mhm.
And then like the minute the first CGI pops up, you're out of it. Like it just fuck. Like and it goes in and out a few times. It's like it's too late now. You've
And
already ruined it.
they are not moving at all like anything moves. And they're jumping for no reason. But like every time they jump and it's this terrible CGI, you're like, nothing moves like that.
And the worst part, like, they use the CG for stuff that they could totally have done, not even with wires. Like, they have CG when people just get thrown to the ground.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, just fall down. Just fall down, guy. You don't need to pretend.
I mean, if Snipes wasn't there for most of it, then I get it.
Yeah.
I guess.
You
But
gotta hit
like,
him whenever you can, I guess. But like,
I might have been a big part of it, but like, yeah, there are parts where it's like just use a little wire work, film him getting thrown, several feet back, and then use CGI to show the ground smashing beneath him. That's what you need to do. But instead, it's a full animated sequence.
not for nothing, but
Just a cutscene out of Mortal Kombat.
They finished filming The Crow without
Yeah.
Brandon Lee, like, and that
they just killed him.
well, I mean, that's anyway. No, they got another actor and they CG'd Brandon Lee's face on another actor. They could have done that.
They're like, if we had used CG, we wouldn't have killed him.
Well, now you're making the argument against practical effects.
The
Views and opinions of the forum of Brian. Brian, eat a Dorito.
Sorry.
It's your turn now. Why are you gonna throw?
On the floor, Tony.
Crispy
on the floor.
num-nums
I didn't mean
down.
that.
How dare you throw
Have you no respect?
delicious snacks on the floor?
Do you not understand?
Did you not see how poorly everything that just happened went?
Do you not
Oh,
see?
he saw.
That was not intentional.
Do you see the rice layered with caramel
Crispy num-nums, not for the floor.
and a coating of milk chocolate?
Fat chat's not a game,
You
Tony.
did this
It's a lifestyle.
After the
Respect it.
cutscene,
to make you do some push-ups. Man.
What else? I don't want a crispy nut right now. Though, what's in here?
So yeah,
We got fudge rounds.
basically,
Oh, what?
they're
you got
like,
fudge
"Hey, let's stop fighting, just cause." And they're like, "Here's an invitation to meet with like
these.
the
They're not
Lord
good.
of Vampire Land."
well, this is another thing though. Like, yeah, they're like, "Hey, listen, let's stop fighting. You guys shot first. That's why we were fighting. But we're not here to fight. We've come to form a truce with you." It's like, then why the fuck did you break in like fucking ninjas?
Blade's like, "Yo, this is a post office."
yeah, like,
There's a doorbell.
yeah, we have a doorbell there. Have you heard of knocking before?
Yeah, you could just left the box. Hell, even just throw the little metal tube through a window. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something more than this.
Yeah.
Just walk in dressed like plain clothes human beings. You don't even have to be like, yo, we're vampires. Just be like, hey, can we talk to you for a second? We're Jehovah's Witnesses.
You know, how about show up with your hands up and be like, listen, we're not here to fight you, instead of sneaking into his back door.
All right, whatever. We're off to Vampire Land.
Yeah. So, yeah, we go to talk to the master, who is Nosferatu-looking motherfucker.
He
Old
looks,
as fuck.
he looks like the first actor that played Dumbledore and Voldemort had an old baby.
I don't know Harry Potter
You,
references.
Brian, don't interrupt.
So anyway, the bottom is like, okay, one of the staples of vampires. When you get old, you're a monster, but you get all these crazy powers. This guy just sucks.
This guy eats Jello.
So there's no hope.
He gums it.
Like he spends his day, just gumming Jello, and then like wallowing in his blood jacuzzi. Like there's no hope for you if you're a vampire. It's never going to get better. You're only going to get worse as life goes on.
He's got a set of regular false teeth with Hot Topic vampire teeth on them, glued on them.
So the big staple of being a vampire, the immortality, the biggest plus still sucks. I mean, technically, I guess he's immortal, but he's old as
So
fuck.
what happens when he so how old would you say he is?
I don't know.
Because the whole vampire thing, and I don't know if it's just Del Toro's design choice, but it's like all very Egyptian. So I don't know if they were to like just kind of ripping off Anne Rice and that whole thing, or so it does have a whole Egyptian vibe. And so do you think this guy's from like ancient Egypt, or because what happens when he's 6,000 years
This
old?
guy's from ancient Egypt, kind of the same way Sean Connery was from ancient Egypt.
Yeah, I think this is more just things to show that he is ancient. Anything that makes you think ancient.
No, but okay. So all I'm saying is, what happens when he's 6,000 years old?
At one point, he's just a skeleton.
Like, what do you do there?
Someone just like takes a paintbrush and puts some blood jello on his fangs.
Moisturize me.
He's just Mr. Burns with somebody standing there with a little mist sprayer, just,
Yeah.
like keeping him moist. Like Brian
Spraying him
said,
down with blood.
like not even blood, just making sure he doesn't fall apart at this.
Oh no,
point.
it would be blood because everything here is fucking blood.
Yeah.
The only thing holding his body
Everything here is
together.
red water.
Yeah,
Water.
it's our cocaine. It's our popsicles. It's our Jello. It's our bath.
I will give him credit, though. I at least like how it was the key for the security system.
Yeah,
That makes a little sense. It's coded to your DNA.
Just bleeding people into cans of Ensure and handing it over. to this
Yeah.
guy.
The one that did get me, though, I think we've already joked about this several times, though, but he does finish eating his, we can only assume
Mine
it's
doesn't
blood
mean
Jello,
yours.
It might be frozen blood slushy.
whatever. But then he's like, all right, I've had enough of that, and then goes into his blood pool, and like, wait, then why? Like, I don't understand.
Just stick your head under water, dude.
Yeah, or take it
No.
in with you. What does it matter?
Listen, young man.
He'll drown because he can't even breathe underwater as a
Look.
vampire.
The champagne bath ain't for drinking, like, if you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
No, listen, all right. It's good calisthenics.
Chewing?
No, the swimming is good calisthenics. You don't hurt your ankles.
You become Jewish.
It's hard. It's hard walking around.
So you tell me, like, he's literally just waiting halfway in and then just doing some little exercise.
Yeah.
One high, yeah,
See,
two high.
listen, it's, yo,
So back to this plot line of this movie.
what plot line of this movie?
Exactly.
Okay, so here it all is right now. All right, so you got this guy Jared. He's a vampire that doesn't suck. And he's going around biting other vampires that when he does that, they turn into like these better vampires. And now the vampires are scared because they're like, they're going to kill all of us and then they're going to start killing people.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they care that they're going to kill people, but
Well,
they're
that's
like,
what he uses on
That's what
Blade.
he
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
Blade to care.
Yes.
Because Blade's like, I don't care, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, but then they're just going to eat all of your people, and then everybody's going to be dead. So, yeah, what is his plan here?
So he's like, we got this pack, the blood pack of vampires we trained for 2 whole years to try and kill Blade.
Yes.
Now you're going to lead them.
Well, it wasn't 2 whole years. It was like, 1 weekend a month kind of deal.
Well, they're like a National Guard.
They're weekend
Yeah,
warriors.
it was Blade Killer's Reserve.
There's a week a year and then a weekend a month.
Yeah, we get the Snowman and Iceman and Otter Pop and who else?
Zuma
Slow-mo.
Yeah.
I
I mean-
don't even know.
Basically, we just go right to that. We just learned that Jared's like making more vampire buddies. And then we cut to the blood pack and they just looking at him, you're like, who the fuck are these people? Like this.
Like,
This is everyone that this type of people from the 90s want
Yeah.
to be.
if you were LARPing, right, Joe?
Yep.
Right, live action role playing. I'm a dork.
Mm-hmm.
If you were doing that, right, and like someone was like, "Yo, I made these costumes for this group of
Yeah.
vampires," like you would see that and be like, "That's better than the costume they actually have in this for this skit."
Yeah.
Like this looks like they took some. Well, it is what they did. Some BMX pads, spray paint them black.
Yep.
They took like some pots and pan lids.
They're like, take some Matrix, smear it around in there.
It's your first time to LARPing
Yeah.
costume.
And then like that see-through shirt you're able to buy at Hot Topic. Put that over a pot lid.
Yeah.
No, it literally, like, half of you are going to be Matrix, the other half of you are going to be gladiators painted black. That's what we're doing.
Oh, it's so terrible.
Yeah. So yeah, this elite crew, you got Lighthammer, who uses a warhammer with a retractable spike. Why you would ever retract it?
Why?
Why?
Just why?
Yeah. Why anything here?
I never
How?
understand retractable spikes.
Unless it's shot out.
Yep.
Unless it can shoot out or something like that, or
Yeah.
shoot like explosives, something like that. Other than that, leave it out all the time. Why?
Yeah.
Also, what is his plan to use that against Blade? How is that going to do anything? Okay. Then you got Priest, who I don't even know if he does anything. Priest just
Yeah,
sucked.
he spouts hate speech
Yeah.
about half-bloods and mudbloods and whatever.
Yeah.
House elves, I don't know.
Eat slugs, Rob.
And you
I
got
am
this
eating
like
slugs.
I don't even remember her name, the red-haired woman.
Hermione.
Hermione, yeah.
I think it's Harley.
Her whole thing is she hangs off of Lighthammer. That's
Yeah,
it.
she's like a salacious crumb.
Yeah.
character.
Wow.
Yeah.
She picks nits off of him.
Then you have Donnie Yang, who the snowman, who is like, he could whip ass on this entire group like 3 times over. He's the only one in this group that's worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
So of course he'll get the off-screen death.
Oh, fucking screen. Like,
Yeah.
like bullshit.
And then
As the choreographer for all your fights, and you're gonna kill me off screen? Fuck you guys.
you got Chupa over here, who looks like a 2000s era professional wrestler with a chainmail shirt.
Like you
He's
do.
the sucker. And then finally you have Ron Perlman as Reinhardt.
So
His special power, he can resist the urge to engage you in close combat and stand back and shoot at you.
Yeah, that's a good
Which
power.
is a special power.
In
these
this world,
movies.
that's an
Yeah.
amazing
really
power.
It actually comes in handy a bunch of times.
all right, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
no.
So there's a lot to disrespect.
Is Ron Perlman like super tall or something?
I think he's
I think
pretty
he's
decent
fairly
sized.
He's not like my height, but he's tall.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like
Why?
6'1", 6'2".
Because he's always portrayed as some like super badass in every movie he's in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to figure out like what the deal. Like physically, he doesn't seem that huge. Is it just does it?
He's usually covered in some sort of nasty prosthetic.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
is he just portrayed as a badass because he's got a big face?
Yeah.
Is that pretty much it?
He was a big ass.
It's more than that, but yeah, like I think
I know it sounds terrible, but I don't mean it to. Like, I'm
I
just
know.
trying to figure it out.
In all fairness, I think he's a big dude, but like Lighthammer is a really big dude.
Lighthammer is a really
Blade's not like what's his name? He's not small. He's a little shorter, but he's not a small dude.
Oh no, dude's jacked in
Yeah,
this
like
movie.
so. Just in comparison to the group he was with.
But I mean, like, and everything he's in, even like Alien Resurrection, he's
Never saw
All
that.
right, well, he
That's
plays this. Yeah, please. Is this
it'll happen one day.
$20 will get you whatever.
Well, also like he's somewhat intimidating. He's more of the like rough type of dude. Like you're not going to see him in a whole lot of comedies.
Like a more threatening Robert Zadar. Because he's got the big chin and the rest of the
He's
head
not,
matches.
Like, he's really a big chin. He's like a big over mouth. Like his
An over mouth.
his like
God
his
damn.
what
I
is
love
it
Are
called?
you
Ron
referring
Perlman.
to the cheeks?
No. The like the between his upper lip and his nose, he's got a big one of
Like,
those.
Okay.
He's got
Like his
gorilla
palate?
face. He's got gorilla face.
Okay.
But like, and I mean that respectfully.
Too late now.
But I just don't get it. Like, I mean, I like him as an actor. I like what I've seen him in.
Huh.
I just don't understand why he was kind of typecast into this like sort of badass role.
Oh.
Oh,
He does it just fine to me. I don't know.
Either way, he's like, I'm going to go talk some shit to Blade now.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, yeah,
Blade's like, I'm going to install a bomb in the back of your head.
does not look great bald though.
No. Well, he's not fully bald.
true. He still has hair.
Yeah. Where does he have it though?
So it runs from like the top of his beard, behind his ears, down behind his ears, and then meets in the back. Like, and it's only like a
Like-
1 inch thick piece of hair.
Like he's wearing a hair version of Steve Urkel's glasses.
Yeah.
It
It looks like it's
that-
there to keep his beard from falling off his
Yes.
face.
Which is my next haircut.
Yeah.
As
course it is.
soon as I can get the rest of my beard to connect, that's what I'm doing. Anyway,
It's never gonna happen.
I know.
All right. So what even happens now? Okay, so now they're like, we got to go to the House of Pain. It's a vampire
Jump
nightclub.
around.
House of Pain isn't a fact, y'all.
Jump around.
So
Boom.
Yeah.
Everlast or ever whatever.
Whatever.
whatever. So
This happened.
so the plan is we're gonna go after the hunter's food. So we're gonna go to this vampire nightclub, which is a terrible spot to have any sort of tactical engagement.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we're gonna go there and we're gonna split up.
Of course.
Like in my mind, when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be another one of those blood rain scenes from like the first movie.
Right. That's what I
We
thought.
don't even
Too.
have that.
No.
That was like
scene
one of
was
the cool,
actually cool.
That was
Yeah.
one of the coolest parts of the first movie.
Yeah.
We do solidify that vampires love the rave scene. That's just a thing they're into, apparently.
I'll stand by that first movie too. I don't.
It holds up.
We'll save that for another podcast or $20. Anyway,
Just give me $20. I'll talk about it.
I'm start paying my own $20 so I can pick my own.
Just instead of a
I thought
roll,
about it too.
drop a 20.
$20. Watch this.
Make up a fake screen name. Go for it,
Watch the film
Brian.
Black Hat.
I'll watch that.
Can't watch that here.
What is it? What?
I don't know if we could talk about it. We
is
can
it?
watch it.
Tell me. Tell the ignorant white boy what?
This is Spinal Tap
Too many
about.
N-bombs in that.
Yeah.
For us to be watching.
But if it was This is
Blazing
Spinal Tap
Saddles
set in
on the
like
list?
1994,
I didn't put it there
hip-hop
for that
scene.
reason.
Okay. Well, like I
The
don't.
sheriff's near.
It's hard to talk about like. So it's like straight comedy though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about straight comedies though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad Brian showed it to me. So anyway, we're walking around this nightclub. It's like torture porn. Like they're all
It's not
taking each other
torture porn,
apart.
exactly, but
Like, well, no, but they're just like, oh, torture. That's the theme for our club. And
Oh,
well, he's doing what vampires like to do, which
Yeah.
is just silly.
is that what vampires like to do?
That's what they're
In
saying.
this world, yeah.
Yeah.
No, what I don't get.
Like one of them's having somebody touch their spine.
Mhm.
I don't know.
It appears as if the vampires are cutting open other vampires.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not like people they can actually feed off of.
Right.
Wouldn't it be the other way around? Like in Modern Vampires, they had like people they're gonna feed from in
Yeah.
cages. Like,
Well,
Yeah, but the weird thing is
there's
like,
a mix.
It just looked like a bunch of like fetish crap. Like they were just living
Yeah.
out their fetishes
Yes.
and not feeding.
Oh yeah, and it's like a Hellraiser kind of explore the senses kind of deal. Like, what happens if I poke you here?
Yeah, it's called the House of Pain, so I guess it is just kind of it's like an S&M shop for vampires, I guess.
The S&M store.
But they did seem to have like some like humans that they were feeding off of and whatever.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There
here.
was one scene where there was just three dudes just eating each other. Like there was like,
Well, that's just a good time.
I mean,
trying to make
But,
that nut juice.
they were nomming on an elbow though. Like I don't know what.
What's that? Elbow grease.
That's where the good stuff's at.
That's right, guys.
What's a
Suck Puppy Nut Juice. Available now
So now-
at the 4 a.m. podcast.
You would think the plan would be like-
store.
Since you have the head of the Vampire Nation on your side, he would contact the club. There would be cameras installed already.
Well,
the
see,
club's security system would be in on it.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
He's still waiting for his large button phone to be installed.
Yeah, true.
He
He
can't
see
use the
numbers.
regular
Yeah.
phones. He needs what are they called? Cricket?
He's
Cricket
he's
phones?
already forgotten that he sent them out on
Yeah,
missions.
like he fell off his hover round already
Yeah.
this morning. He pressed
He's
his life alert
going
button
up this
3
huge
times.
staircase on one of those chairs and just
like
slowly.
in Gremlins.
He's at home watching the morning news, getting mad at the TV screen.
Yeah, it's
at home washing his tights?
so
Someone
like
come change the channel.
so they're literally just walking around a club waiting for these things to show up. When it's like you'd think they would just watch cameras and be like, "Oh, there they are. Okay, now we know where they're over there."
Yeah,
But no, they just split up into small groups, so they're easy to take out.
like you do.
Yep. And so Jared shows up. He grabs Nisa, and he's like, "We're gonna cuddle." And then the vampires, the Reavers or Reapers,
Reapers.
Is it
Reapers.
Reapers? Okay.
Yes.
Reapers.
The
It's
Reapers start attacking.
Which
The Reavers would have been worse.
well, they start calling Reapers out of nowhere. Like it wasn't. No one said we call them Reapers. They just start calling them Reapers. You have to like figure out. Oh, it means them. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
And this does not go well. Priest just immediately gets his ass whooped. He gets his hand broken what feels like 10 times.
Probably.
Yeah.
And Lighthammer gets into a little throwdown with Gollum or something,
Yeah.
and he
It's-
he
so-
gets bit.
If you remember the Lord of the Rings film, it's that middle stage when after Gollum's like a hobbit, before he's CGI, when he's that like Dr. Seuss character. It's like that.
See, this hasn't come out yet, but he looks like an unpainted war boy from Fury Road.
Yeah.
Or I will also accept he
haven't seen
looks
that yet.
like
haven't either.
what they considered to be a Nosferatu in the Kindred the Embraced TV show, which was just a bald guy with Steven Tyler lips.
Yeah. Woof.
I've not seen the Kindred show.
Don't
Oh.
I remember liking
Whoa.
it, but I probably was had a different view of
Yeah.
the time. Like
Either way, so Lighthammer just
Well, at that time, compared to other vampire things, it probably stood out a lot better. And then, like, we got better at everything.
I mean,
in life.
we were just a lot more forgiving back then, I think.
I was not.
Well, Joe aside.
So Lighthammer just cracks this dude across the side of the head with a warhammer. It just totally snaps his neck. The guy's like sitting there looking at him with his neck on like a 45-degree angle, just pops it back in place. And then Lighthammer's like, okay, well, I guess we'll just keep fighting.
Like the minute you see that,
Yeah.
change your tactic, cut his head off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea, but
Mhm.
it's Lighthammer. He's an idiot.
Yeah. And
He
yeah,
sure
he
is.
gets slightly bit. He gets like nibbled.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's so that guy. They're like, so many things here. First of all, he continues to fight this guy. He cracks him in the face again with the hammer across the chest or whatever. And the dude goes down, and he's like, "Oh, well, I've obviously killed him." 'Cause even though breaking his neck didn't do it, that must have, right? So
Well, he
gets
pierced him.
close.
The
He
little
pierced
4-inch
him with the
spike
spike.
must have been enough to kill him.
Mhm.
Yeah, even though it's retractable, so it would have just gone in. But anyway, he's like, "Oh, I must have gotten him." So he gets all like up in his face, and then surprise, he's still alive, and just bites him on the neck.
I would have at least gone like Misery style on the dude and like smashed his feet.
I would have crashed his
smashed
head
his jaw.
Yeah,
Like,
crush his head.
Yeah.
Crush it. You've got a hammer. Crush
Yeah,
that.
it's
Oh.
gross because he's bleeding crystal gravy everywhere.
And then like when his girl comes back, it's like, "You all right?" He's like, "All right, he didn't bite me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm bleeding from the neck
Yeah,
with
he
an
just got my
obvious
back.
wound.
I was totally expecting at one point for her to be like, "Hey, remember how you told me that story about when you became a vampire and you got bit and you went back to society and told me you weren't bit and then you ended up killing them all? That's not happening here, right?" Like, oh yeah, it is. It's totally what's happening here.
Listen, listeners, don't be that guy.
Yeah.
There's always the guy in Aliens. You get a face hugger, falls off your face, like you say didn't happen. Like, don't be that guy.
Yeah. Most people don't want to die, but if you're ever in a zombie apocalypse and you get bit at all, don't tell them you're fine.
Yeah. Be the guy
Let
that
him
goes
know.
out with the heroic last stand.
Yeah, like
Well, not just that,
Well,
but
it's
like, you know
inconvenient.
what? It's a lot easier to live without a hand than to, wake
Yeah.
up a zombie and kill everyone around you that you care about.
Anyway, so
That's not how blood flow works, by the way, people.
I'm just saying they might be able to do something about it
yeah.
before terrible things happen to everyone.
You hold the
worth a
zombie
try.
horde off for a while.
Yeah.
Or that.
yeah.
I'll hold them off.
So
Yeah, go down like a hero.
one of them makes the mistake of tussling with Donnie Yen, and he's like, "I can't kill you, but I can cut the hell out of you." And he ends up just like stabbing him to the wall, like through his gut. And this guy's like, "All right, well, I mean, I can climb on walls. I'll just tear the katana through my groin to
Yeah.
get
Oh,
out."
Your katana is now covered with suck puppy nut juice.
Yeah.
And like that wasn't CGI. That was like practical
Oh.
effect.
That was CGI.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
It was
It was-
fast, though. So
It was
it's
one of
hard
the
to-
better
hard to
looking
catch.
CGIs, but that was CGI.
He's climbing real well for not having a pelvis, too.
Yeah.
Because I thought they just like pulled him up because I thought it was real juices fell on the sword and stuff.
Real juices.
Yeah.
There might have been some real juices
Yeah.
squirting out
Yeah,
of
there could have
somewhere.
been practical parts to it,
Yeah.
but
So
Del Toro provided the juices.
Yeah.
they find out that sunlight does indeed hurt them. Blade is off fighting Jared at this point, and like he uses that anticoagulant that finished off Deacon Frost in the first movie. Doesn't do anything to Jared.
yep.
He
He's
gives
a new
him,
breed.
gives him a headache.
Yeah.
Does give him a headache. Also, Scud here is in the van. He's our tech guy. He's in the van that he is outfitted with the cameras and everything else and a bunch of lights. But apparently,
Not watching any of the cameras.
yeah,
Nope.
Apparently
Watching the
also
Powerpuff Girls.
doesn't really have any other good defenses on it or anything for some unknown reason. I could not fathom. Like just like a little gate over that top window, something. Anyway, he gets attacked by a bunch of these Reapers and doesn't turn the lights on them or anything. Just ends up driving into the wall, screwing up the van.
Whistler's missing.
It just
Like, what I don't get, like, why not have UV lights inside the van for in case there's a breach?
Yeah.
And like have it on its own battery.
Yeah.
Like,
Why not just have a portable one you carry?
Yeah, it's its own battery. It's not hooked up to the car. It's its own
Blade
shit.
even had one in the first movie.
Yeah.
He used it on the fat dude.
So why not just like have that in the car?
and again, some silver paneling.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? It's very effective.
Not even paneling. You could have like chicken wire. Like,
Yeah,
just
whatever,
going through the
just
windows or
something.
whatever.
Yeah. Like, you want to smash your hand through the window? Well, guess what? You're smashing your hand through, silver wiring or whatever. Like, anyway.
So, Jared ends up getting scared off when the sun comes out. And then Priest, who's now turning into one of these things, will not die. And Chupa's trying to kill him. So finally, was it Ron Perlman, cuts part of his head off with a katana that doesn't do anything. Finally, they expose him to some sunlight.
It does something.
Well, yeah. We're getting to that now. So the rest of his body disappears, and you just have half of a priest head looking at you.
Yep.
And this is where I really took note of how many F-bombs are in this movie, because all I could think of was, how is this movie so silly, so goofy, but rated R? And it was rated, it had to be rated R.
Rated R.
Yeah.
For sure. Actually, all the green blood and stuff was put in to tone it back from a higher rating. That's why they're not bleeding red blood.
Well, I mean, most of them are. It's just
but not all of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't understand the rating system at all, so I can't properly explain it. I just know that they used a bunch of green blood for a lot of these guys to keep it from getting a harsher rating than it had.
All right.
So yeah, they take one of these things that Whistler, he went off and he found one that was dying because he hasn't fed. And I guess these things have to feed constantly like a bird, or they crap out.
And it's got its hand trapped in some kind of sewage grate or
It's a piece
something.
of candy.
Raccoon trap.
Yeah, it's a raccoon trap.
Yep. So all right, they take him back and dissect him. And they find out that not only is their rib cage just one solid piece of bone, but then their heart is totally encased in bone.
Yeah.
So you can't stake him.
But he's got a suck hole.
He does have a suck
right
hole
under
in
his
stomach.
heart. For some
She
reason.
drips some of her blood in, and these guys' organs just start going crazy.
Was that his belly button? Like what?
looked like it.
What that was?
So
I think the
they
general-
can feed through their belly button.
Yeah, I think the general idea is they don't need their mouth to feed. Even if they lose their head. I'm not saying it's good, but hey.
It's gonna belly bump you
Yep.
to death.
Well, in one of their fights, Blade and Jared, they just that's their initial move is they belly bump each
It
other.
was a high
that's
school
what.
fight. It
Was
It was a high school fight to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Jared was thinking. He's like, "Oh, come on, second mouth."
It's the suck hole joke.
It's a hole.
I hope he's an outie.
Yeah. So now Blade's like, we're gonna go hunt them in the daytime.
And by daytime, he means in the sewers.
In the sewers, yeah, where it won't be an issue. So Scud and Whistler make some UV flashbangs, and none of these elite blood pack vampires think to go back and get those suits that protect them from UV light.
For that situation.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, they put on some more hockey pads.
It's so remember American Gladiators?
Yeah.
The pads you wore in that.
Yup.
Like spray painted black.
Paint those black. Yeah.
Shine them up a little bit.
Yeah.
If they had gone just as they were, I would have given them more credit. But here, they take the time to show them gearing up.
Dude, if Blaze
But
and
not-
Nitro showed up,
Mhm.
I would have given more credit too.
Fucking Blade and Jared have a fight in the Atmospheres.
Oh, man.
No, with those big,
Pugil sticks.
they call them tonfas, or do they call them pugil sticks?
Pugil sticks.
Yeah.
They were just big Q-tips.
Yeah, whatever.
Fucking Reinhardt's in the back with the tennis ball gun.
But if that was shooting out those flashbangs,
I was
just
it
thinking
would-
that.
Would have worked.
It
That
would've
would have
worked.
been amazing.
Would have fucking worked.
But also, as you pointed out before, in the first Blade, when he fights that big fat vampire one, he's got this massive flashlight, whatever, with the UV rays. Why don't we have more of those?
Yeah, I mean,
That's the most effective weapon you have.
Little Monsters has been out for what was it, 20 years almost. How many lights they were able to wear there?
Yeah.
Well, because Whistler invented all that stuff,
Yeah.
and this is Scud's
No,
territory.
you don't have to invent that. Flashlights are a thing.
Yeah.
Just fucking put a bulb on it.
Yeah, well,
You
So-
made the flashbang UV
listen, he didn't have time
grenades.
to go down to.
They had time to make a light bomb so they could have an explosion here.
Let's see, 2002, maybe AC Moore.
But they also managed to come up with.
No, they got those light grenades at Spencer's.
No, did they?
Mm.
Okay.
They came up with they took the pheromones from their scent glands and made a spray to attract them, like Cat Piss Man.
Yeah, which is very clever because it is Cat Piss Man's, exact MO.
Well, yeah.
He'll spray you down with cat piss, and then the cats will mate with you.
So the plan is to like put these spray things down, attract them, and then like drop a big old bomb of UV light on the system of networks of sewers because light goes around corners.
like fire.
Like fire. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
Like if it was like for real, like a phosphorus or something or other, like it was actual fire going through, I'd be like, all right,
maybe.
that's like
All right, so this plan immediately goes awry. First off, they split up again because that worked so well for them last time. And like the three expendable ones here, you got Lighthammer, Redhead, and Snowman go off in one corner, and Redhead again disappears somewhere, and Donnie Yen just straight up gets killed off screen.
off screen.
Yeah, Lighthammer
By
completely
Lighthammer.
turns into one of these, what was it, mouth vaginas? Whatever. Chin vagina?
Chingina?
Chingina. He turns into one of those. Yeah, kills Snowman off screen. Is about to take out Redhead. I give them credit for this. Like, she's at least like, you know what, fuck it, everything's over. I'm done with this. So she goes running up, and or maybe this wasn't her plan, I don't know, but she knocks the manhole cover off.
Climbing up, does not jump.
Yeah, climbing up, of course, because vampires can't jump high, because that'd be a power.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get the sunlight in, and that just takes the both of them out. So goodbye for them.
And then so now it's just Reinhardt and there's that other guy, the guy that's hanging out with Nisa, but ultimately isn't important. He gets killed by like a bunch of Reapers just stand up out of the water and bite him.
Right.
Yeah, like they're in like it's like a layer, like if you're playing some sort of horror game. You see like the monster layers, like part underwater, part over water. Like you know it's in the water. Like you know it is. And some players like, oh shit, it's in the water. Get out of the water.
Yeah.
They're like, what? And then they all jump out of the water and like kill them. Like,
So long
They can
story
breathe
short,
underwater? We can't do that.
basically they have to set off the light bomb, and they kill like all the crappier versions of the Reapers.
Yeah.
well, this is where you get at this point you get the blood pack starts to turn on Blade and Whistler and all them.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's right. Chupa beats up Whistler.
yeah, and like Chupa starts beating on Whistler. Ron Perlman, Reinhardt takes the light bomb on his own. He goes to set it off, but it won't. He got stuck. Whatever. He's not strong enough to set it off. Whatever. So he tells Blade like, "Oh, the light bomb's back there. You can go set it off." Knowing if the shit's broken. So while he's back to trying to while Blade's there messing with it, he goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's broken. Have fun with that, fucker." Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, he's gonna turn on me like that? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, but Blade ain't no bitch, so he's like, I'm stronger than you are. Just sets it off. Just sets it off.
He just kicks it.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna Fonzie style this shit. And just
Like,
kicks the thing in.
why would you have it lever controlled in the first place? Why not just set a timer and walk away? Like,
Why not just get like I don't know, green launcher and walk down the hallways shooting that down each corridor.
listen, I don't know what kind of tech you're talking about, but
Or again,
not just have a flashlight?
or yeah, again, you know what? Just get something with a big radius to cover the entirety of that pipe, and everybody just walk towards the central point and kill everything that's in your
To the
process.
center.
Yeah.
so the Blade world is like
Too
if
many
you were
dots.
playing a game, Vampire the Gathering, but all of the characters never got any experience points.
Well, actually,
And you're rolling 1d6 for all of your skills.
or maybe it's just like playing Vampire the Masquerade with us. It's like, I can do cool things. Oh, I rolled a 3. All right, never mind.
Did I say Vampire the Gathering?
You did.
Okay.
You did.
You did, yeah.
Vampire the Masquerade. It's been a few decades.
It has. But yeah, like don't get me started on that shitty system. D10s. Fuck.
All right, let's not.
Sorry.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of nonsense that happens. Blade ultimately sets off this bomb, which acts stupidly, but
It travels down the sewer pipes like water.
Like you know how in explosions in the movies when like the sewers go up, how all the manhole covers like flames on everything, and like It's like that, but with light. And light doesn't work that way.
Light also travels at a certain speed. I don't
Yeah.
remember. Is it called the speed of light?
Yes, light speed. Yes.
I am half surprised we didn't see a scene where it was like the New York streets or whatever, and all the manhole covers jump because the light comes forward.
Like, it probably was in it.
They couldn't afford it.
They probably cut it.
Yeah, they couldn't
Maybe.
afford
Probably cut it.
the effects.
I can see if they put if part of the play was set up mirrors or disco balls throughout like the sewers or some shit
That would've made sense.
reflects light. You know, like I would, give you a little bit more of a pass. Like, no, this
Would
is
have made
bullshit.
sense.
But anyway,
They even deep fried Charles Entertainment Cheese, who is living down there.
what the hell's wrong with you today?
It's Chuck E. Cheese. He's
I
a
only
rat.
got that.
He's a rat. He lives in the sewer.
Yeah.
Feeds kids pizza. Or he
the
diddles
sewer?
them, probably. I don't know.
All right. Anyway.
I think Kevin Spacey played him once.
Okay.
Wow.
Again, you're getting into Five Nights at Freddy territory. And that's
Yeah,
not
I
what we're
certainly
talking
am
about.
getting into horror, aren't I?
So anyway, Blade saves this vampire queen
Nisa.
girl, Nisa, from this bomb, which she's very thankful for. Ron Perlman gets
Feeds
out
her some of his
somehow.
blood.
But yeah, he revives her a little because she did take some damage, and we all move on to
Like, yeah,
whatever
you're my
else.
ghoul now. Congratulations.
Well, now this lawyer guy that we met earlier, and ultimately doesn't matter. He shows up and tasers the crap out of Blade with a bunch of other guys.
But he made a lawyer joke.
He did make a lawyer joke.
So, I mean, there's that.
So Jurassic Park. Let's not.
Mm-hmm.
If we
Do
watch
not.
that movie, I'm gonna shit on it the whole time you watch it.
You should.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
see how
Fine.
mad it gets.
You can. I'm just going to
You-
make...
that would have been good, but now you're giving it away.
Oh damn! He'll forget he's drunk.
I think you're overestimating.
Okay.
How much he'll remember when he's not drunk. Anyway, Blade gets taken out. They get brought back to the Master's lair, or the vampire
They bring
old
him to,
folks'
like,
home.
This critical room in the operation where there's like all these experiments that he's doing about, making
Brings
vampires
him into
better.
the fetus room.
Yeah, to the fetus room, and there's a blood pool there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's a red water pool.
Yeah, there's the Kool-Aid fountain
Yeah.
of youth,
So yeah,
which also exists at Fat Chat headquarters, by the way.
That would have been funny as
The
fuck
Kool-Aid fountain of youth.
if someone edited this right where it was the Kool-Aid Man like tied up with tubes coming out.
yeah.
Oh, no.
So a few things I don't get here.
The movie?
Yeah. So, all right.
Start, finish,
Whistler
middle.
explains to him that the virus was designed it wasn't like a freak mutation. It was an experiment gone awry that this Damaskinos guy, he's trying to make vampires better, and it ended up making Crazy Jared over
Oh
here.
yeah, because Jared tells
Yeah.
him.
So Jared's alive, and the vampires know that. And Blade is still their best shot at killing them, but they're like, fuck it, whatever. We're just going to take Blade now and harvest him, and we'll make vampires better that way.
Yeah, I don't quite get what they're
Yeah, never mind Jared. And they're telling Blade that, and they're like, Jared doesn't know where this location is, and Blade's like, yes, he does. And then, sure enough, Jared's attacking the
Oh yeah,
location.
because during this we get the twist about what's his face.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Norman Reedus.
Yeah, we're kind of saying things out of order here, but it ultimately does
It
not
does
matter.
not matter.
yeah,
It's all
so
just
Scud's a mole.
Yeah,
Like he was planted.
We're
He got
missing.
turned.
Yeah, we're missing one of the best parts of this movie.
Are we?
We are where it turns out, Norman Reedus tells Scud tells everyone that he was working with the vampires because he thinks they're going to win and he wants to be on the winning side and yada yada yada, and even kind of mocking Blade because he's like, oh, that bomb you put in the back of Ron Perlman's head, it's a dud, and he just pulls it out, he's holding on to it, whatever.
yeah. Blade tried to set it off.
Yeah, and then Blade's like, yeah, I just faked to hit the button to draw you out. The bomb really works and just blows the fuck up.
He hit the panic button.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you do get a satisfying end to that character.
I enjoyed that.
But
Yes.
it made no sense
Yeah, it does.
because
did not.
like if he's been with Blade for a while now, so at any moment they could have just captured Blade.
Yeah.
Like that just happened.
Mhm.
So
No. Capture nothing. Step one, when Blade's using this serum on himself, use some of that. You can get his blood sample. There's got to be a way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure specifics. I'm sure you could figure it out. But he's been with them long enough.
Put something else in that serum, too.
That's the other thing. Like, once you have the blood sample, put something in his blood to turn him evil or kill him or whatever. Done. Blade problem over. Movie over.
So, I'm saying, like
Vampires
win. There's all this was just extra fluff for no fucking reason. Like, it didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's just all pointless nonsense.
So anyway, so now Blade's on this torture table that's like poking through all of his limbs. He's like, "Oh, Jesus metaphored," and then
Yeah, are we supposed to have feelings at this
I don't
part of the
know.
movie? 'Cause
Probably, but I don't.
and then Whistler just gets out of his handcuffs and just beats up Reinhardt. Now, I'll admit Reinhardt's been kind of weakened by the sunlight, but he just beats him up like he's a fucking vampire.
Old ass hurt human.
Yeah.
Also, not like we're gonna have a long tussle and I'm gonna win ultimately.
Is he a
It's
human
like,
or is he not?
you just get cold cocked in the side of the face and then you're out. Like,
I don't know. So then Whistler, he crawls into the air ducts.
because he knew he could do that.
And he like finds Blade and kills the lawyer and takes Blade and he's carrying him to off to the blood pool. 'Cause Blade's
Okay.
like, I need blood.
Quick note right here.
Yeah.
Blade needs blood because he's just come off this torture table. And he's like, oh, yeah, don't worry, I got it. I'm going to bring you to the blood pool thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the lawyer's right there.
Yeah.
He's dead
right
anyway.
there.
Like, but it's fresh. Just eat him.
Yeah.
Just drink his blood.
I mean, in like Vampire Town, I'm sure there are like glass cases that are like a case of emergency break glass.
Maybe it was
There's like a squirrel in there or something.
Maybe it was the most subtle lawyer joke of all.
Mm-hmm.
Blade won't suck his blood because he's a lawyer.
Mm.
But they won't say it. They won't mention it at all.
That's not funny at all.
But we're supposed to infer it.
No, that's stupid.
I didn't
on
say
every
it was
possible
funny.
level.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
it's like an Andy Kaufman genius level joke.
No, it's not. It's stupid. It's really stupid.
All right. So
You want to have a funny joke? Yeah, let's do a in case of emergency, and then go over and there's a little glass
it's
case.
like a tank of hamsters.
Oh, I was just thinking you open it up and like Newt's in there.
Yeah.
And she just take her out.
Newt?
Yeah, from Aliens.
You take Newt out, you're in a
That-
world of hurt,
yeah.
man.
That
Ripley's
was-
gonna show up and kick your
That-
ass.
When Ripley shows
That
up.
wasn't funny either.
That also wasn't
Little
funny.
person in there.
That was a little girl, first of all. Totally inappropriate. I mean,
Anyhow.
maybe, yes. Maybe if it was that Jared, yes. But no.
So-
none of it's...
Whistler's carrying Blade to the blood pool, and then Reinhardt's like, all right, here's my power. I'm not going to go up there and fight you in hand-to-hand combat. I have a shotgun. Just going to shoot you with it. Totally works. Shoots Whistler, shoots Blade, but Blade happens to fall into the red water pool.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, who's this song was by? This is a Kid Rock one, right?
No.
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 So,
I don't know.
no, this is, was it Calling All Freaks? Or
Name of the game.
Name
Name
of
of
the
the song. I cannot.
Is it Name of the Game?
Yes.
I don't
Name
know.
of the
Okay.
game.
Like, it's time to play the game.
It's one of those songs that has an awesome beginning and then
That's the
like,
name
just
of the
stop
game.
playing it after that. But he fucking comes out of the red water pool like all Super Saiyan.
No, here's the thing. Yeah, when he comes out of this pool looking all like, oh, I'm ready to tussle, and those guys show up with their electric wands, I'm like, this is going to be the dumbest shit ever.
Oh.
Once Name of the Game starts playing, I was in. I was like, this is going to be dumb, but here we go.
And the choreography makes Iron Fist look like Bruce Lee. Like it's so bad.
Oh, man.
Everyone's just clearly.
This is better than Iron Fist.
It's not better than Iron Fist.
No, it's not.
It is
It's-
not.
It's maybe on par, but
Par.
it's not better.
I'll go with par.
No, Iron Fist is better than this.
Oh, no.
Maybe not the part at the end when he's fighting Elektra and it's like, hey, see that door you're not supposed to punch?
Iron Fist and Defenders may be better than
Yeah.
But
this,
in
but not
any
in
part when he got beat up by
Everything.
security guards. got beat up
Everything.
by
No.
regular people. Yeah, no,
I'm the
sorry.
invincible Iron Man.
Anyway,
So
let's save that till we review the Iron Fist when
Yeah.
someone writes in and donates.
You need
when
more than $20
yeah.
for me to sit through that again.
So
$50.
we'll do an
donation.
episode.
All right, no.
But anyway, everyone's just patiently waiting their turn for him to beat their ass.
When's
And
my
Ron
turn?
Perlman's just standing there.
Yeah.
He's got his gun. He's just
Let's just shoot
standing.
Yeah, and could maybe once or twice he tries to fire a shotgun blast at Blade and Blade puts a dude in front of it or something.
Something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
This is again the typical like we're not going to show your badass because you're so much better than everybody. We're going to show your badass because everybody is just going to be shit. that gets thrown at your feet, and it's just dumb. I don't know why there's so many movies do this.
And he's so flagrantly like disrespecting these goons as any sort of credible threat that the last one he just gives a straight stalling vertical suplex right through the floor.
He sure does.
Yep.
Then Ron Perlman's like, he picks up Blade's katana. He's like, I'm going to do it. Blade's like, don't you do it.
Well, here's the
He's like,
thing. He
"I'm gonna
picks
do
it up
it."
by the handle.
Yeah.
He should have cut his hand off.
Yeah, it's
Well, he knows the trick now. He did actually discover what
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
that's
to
true.
do to disable the mechanism.
I thought it was like just a DNA thing. I thought it was just...
No.
No, there's a little latch you got to hit or something.
Oh, okay. All
After
right.
you draw it out.
All right, my argument is invalid.
But yeah, like, he puts the gun down, so like he lost his one superpower. He puts the gun down.
Yeah.
It's like, I got the sword. Like, by the way, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? and Blade's just like, fuck you, knocks the sword up and then cuts him in half.
He's like, also, by the way, I know I'm an elite trained killer, but I have no idea how to use a sword.
He's like, bro, you only trained for 2 years.
Oh, you're trying to use the darkness. I was born in darkness.
So he just straight up cuts Ron Perlman in half.
Yeah.
Just so unceremoniously.
He CGI's a cartoon of Ron
Wow.
Perlman's vague likeness.
You know what?
Yeah, that's everything
You know
in this
what?
movie.
It's better than the next CGI'd, easily the worst throwing of a pair of sunglasses in a movie I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's like Snake Plissken jumping into the back of the pickup truck on the motorcycle. Like, these glasses
Throwing.
fly through the air
You don't need those glasses because there's enough shade in this
Yeah.
room now.
right into Blade's. Like, he's not even looking. He just reaches behind him and
Yeah, they don't even like wiggle.
Oh, this
No,
is
and they-
amazing.
they fly like they were shot out of a gun. Like, there's no arc or anything.
It's for real. The Star Wars like door opening kind of jump cut to like the special effect. We're like, just hold it out. We'll pause it. All right, play. All right, there, look. See, like, they didn't even try.
Chris Christopherson held a gun in his mouth in his trailer for 15 full minutes after recording this scene.
But yeah, because why the hell would he? Like, he's he's all beaten up. He's been through some shit. He can barely walk. All this craziness is going on, but he's like, "Hey, Blade, don't forget these." Tosses him his sunglasses.
Mean Joe Green.
Yeah.
So then, meanwhile, this whole time, Jared's been just rampaging through the complex. And they're still shooting guns at him, even though they now know that clearly does not work.
Yeah, I like it's just like playing a game of Red Rover at one point.
Yeah.
Where they're just the guards are all standing there firing at him, which is doing nothing, but he just runs into them and stops. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
Why, like, since they know that, like, sunlight and the Blade's UV lights hurt them, like, why they don't have those by now?
I'm telling you, like,
When they built them like in there.
They could have just taken them from Blade's place.
or for that matter, honestly, you're a vampire. You know, like, humans, not much of a threat to you, probably. I mean, I'm guessing, but so your biggest threat's probably going to be other vampires. So you know what? UV lights on every hallway. Just when something goes wrong, all those hallways light up with UV light. Now, those things are toast.
Something. So, yeah. So he's trying to escape to a helicopter with Nisa, and Nisa locks down the place. And this flimsy, like, security shutter that you'd see on, like, a convenience store lowers down. And I'm like, oh, just break right through that with your vampire strength that your old ass doesn't have.
Yeah.
'Cause being a vampire in this world sucks.
I used to have that in my 40s.
Yeah. So then Jared shows up, and he just kind of nibbles on his dad's neck.
What, you know?
Yeah, it was me.
Wait, so you talking and farting at the same
Yeah,
time? Like,
I can do it.
What?
I can blow hot air out both ends.
He's a master ventriloquist that way. What do you think is happening?
Because, like, all right, most of us, when we fart,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
we want
got
to make sure y'all know we're farting. So we stop and make a face.
You guys have heard me
happening.
fart so many times, it's not
He
even
was like-
special anymore.
Say no show. Just fart and talk.
Yeah.
Whatever.
we're like fourth season of Family Matters now. Steve
Yeah.
Urkel's not even a thing anymore. We just gotta move on. There's no more.
Yeah, he says his lines like everybody else. We just keep going.
So Steve Urkel's going, did I do that? Original Val Johnson's just talking right over him. Nobody cares. Nobody
That
cares.
is how it should be.
So
Did I do? I killed a kid the other day.
Yeah, I shot a kid. Did I do?
he had a lime green water pistol.
Did I do that? No, but I did.
So
Are you on a table?
well, like, he just nibbles on this dude's neck a little bit, and he bleeds to death.
Yeah, and here's where we find out that
that's what's happening.
this ancient vampire has been feeding off of teenagers this whole time because his blood is just Tide Pods now.
Yeah.
Green ass liquid just coming out of his neck.
Then like Nisa's just like, fuck it, bite me. I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah,
This film has gone on long enough.
Yeah, so he bites her. Then
get it.
Blade shows up, and now we get something special. This fight.
Yeah.
yeah. It's officially a cage match for the championship belt.
Well, here's where it came really close to going so stupid that you started enjoying it, but then it fucked that up.
Bonesaw is
Yeah, because it's like he like knocks Blade down, then he jumps on the wall, and he does this fucking Macho Man flying bionic elbow, and then I like after he lands too, is he drives it into his sternum a few more times. Looks like he was going to cover him for a pinfall after that.
You should have.
And then they're like airplanes swinging each other around, and the like giant swings Blade through a pillar. And I don't know, they have a really silly fight.
Oh yeah.
And then, but at the very beginning of this, Blade jumped in the air, did an entire flip, and then buried his katana into this thing's chest.
I think
Into
that was
Jared's
actually.
chest.
I think that was the title of the film in Sweden.
Mhm.
A very silly fight.
A very silly fight, too.
Yes.
Vampires. A very silly fight too.
So, the guy just broke the blade off, like broke the handle off Blade's katana and then pulled the blade out.
The same direction. Yeah, like
Yeah.
not even through his back. Like the same
Yeah.
direction the handle was.
Yeah, that's what I didn't get. It was like I thought when he broke it off, he was gonna like
He didn't.
step forward or whatever and pull it out the back.
He didn't at least empty like a bullet's gunpowder into there and then light it on fire. Burn a little tunnel through himself.
What dumb movie was that?
That was Rambo 3.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
All right, so finally, after all these shenanigans, like it looks like Jared's gonna win, and Blade's got the blade to his katana, and he stabs it through Jared's side.
Yeah. Jared still takes it like a champ, but he's like, you know what? Yeah, you win. I don't know why, but you do. I'm just gonna finish this off for you.
Yeah, and then he kills himself.
Yep. Let me just take care of that.
Thus ends Legacy of Lame. Time Reaper.
I also like that he's like, it doesn't hurt anymore, and then lets out this horrible scream of pain and dies.
He's like, oh, I lied.
yeah, doesn't even hurt. Oh no, it does. Oh!
I think he meant the emotional pain of his father doing that to him. I don't know.
That is,
I don't know.
yeah, that's reaching
Yeah.
more than I was for
You're
that balloon.
grasping for a metaphor there,
Hitman
Brian.
3, Brian.
So
Then
then
you were
Nisa's,
reaching for that Hitman 3 shit. That bullshit.
Nisa's on the ground starting to transform. She's like, make sure I don't come back for the sequel. Except like worse acted than that. So
Yeah, none of this Chris Christopherson bullshit.
that's another thing we
I
didn't
want
really.
screen death.
Yeah, that's the other thing we didn't really mention. Like her acting sucks.
Oh, she is awful.
Like they're all pretty bad, but she's like Gina Davis, Cutthroat Island level line delivery.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like she can't do better or she's not trying, but
She might not have been given much to work with, though.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's just a mess. So anyway,
All right, so she goes out in the sun and dies. Well, Blade carries her
yeah,
out
he
there.
carries her out there
Yeah.
in his arms.
And we go back to London to that vampire from the beginning that he tried to stick his head in a motorcycle tire.
Yeah, Rush, I believe is his name.
Rush. Okay. I thought you were just making it like a joke at the band's expense. I haven't seen Rush in a while. Maybe that's what Geddy Lee looks like.
Maybe. But no.
So yeah, this guy's just getting ready to like spank it in a nudie theater and frickin'
With razor blades.
with razor blades. Just in case. Just in case.
Yeah. What?
I don't know.
Don't ask.
Yeah,
He likes to
and
put 'em
then
in his
the
butt.
little screen comes up, and there's Blade. Stabs a katana through his head, and that's the end of the
Shaking
movie.
his tits.
Yeah. Yep.
It would have been funnier if it was Wesley Snipes from Tu Wong Fu.
Wow.
But with teeth.
Yeah, like with a sword, like
All right, if we're making substitutions, I would also prefer that Jared be Jared from Labyrinth. And then
That's a...
the mouth gina would instead be his giant package.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
you've got Guillermo del Toro's attention.
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro redoing Labyrinth. That'd be something.
Horrible?
It'd be a bad idea, but it'd be
Yeah,
something.
terrible.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
It's not a movie that needs to be remade, but
No, definitely not.
That'd
Are
be
they making a show out of it? I'm doing
I think so.
like
Or
my
no,
first
It's Dark Crystal
It
they're
is
doing
Dark
the
Crystal.
show.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That already came and went, didn't it?
I
didn't see
don't
it.
know.
I don't see it.
But it doesn't matter because it's not what we were talking about. We were talking about Blade 2 from the year 2002. Okay, so on RottenTomatoes.com, critics gave this a score of 57%. Audience gave this a score of 86%.
Jesus.
That's their thoughts and opinions. What about you and yours, Joe?
I mean, it was 2002. They didn't know any better. That's the only thing I could think of because this movie sucked. Like, I'm trying to think, like, what was good in this movie? Rob? That's a not recommend. Tag in, Rob.
Oh, I thought you were implying that I was good in this movie. I'm a bit torn. And the reason is, it's dumb. This movie is so stupid. So silly. But it is watchable in a silly kind of way. It's bordering on so bad it's good, but I'm not going to recommend it. Because in the end of the day, like, it does, like, the fights are so samey that, like, after the fourth or fifth fight scene, you're just like, all right, please just end the dumb movie. I can't devote any more brain power to this. So I'm gonna not recommend it on that criteria, but it is kind of borderline.
Okay, Brian.
So, I love what, like, Snipes. I do. But I wouldn't want to sit through this movie any more than I have to ever again. It's not like that terrible, you know. 80-something% is a bit much. I don't get how they got that number at all. I'll give it, like, you know, a 60. Like, there are things that I enjoyed in the movie, you know, like Snipes' costume was dope, and like the few parts of the fight scenes where he's actually doing the fight scene parts, those are dope. But then the CGI sucks, so it takes you out of it. Like, you know, yeah, I would not say this is a good one. Don't watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be the oddball here, I guess.
Of course.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna recommend it. It is I find this to be a so bad it's good. Like, you're watching this with friends or whatever, or just looking for a good laugh. I think it's worth it. It is, as Rob said, it's watchable. It's dumb as shit, but it's watchable. And I
said borderline.
Well, okay,
Let's
but
not misquote me, please. There's going to be enough of that as it is.
I found enjoyment in it, even if it wasn't at the spots I was supposed to. So, yeah, I found it entertaining, and that's enough for me to be like, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, you have to see this movie, but like, yeah, go watch it. It's fun. It's dumb. Enjoy it for all the stupidity that it is. But, yeah.
This movie gets a
yeah, I mean, to me,
25%.
Yeah, like, this is a so bad I'm mad kind of movie.
Yeah. Well, yet I mean, admittedly, I think part of what's helping it for me is apparently, like, in a month or so from now, I won't remember it.
Yeah.
So this movie and not The Ref?
Huh?
So you said watch this movie but not The Ref?
Yeah. Yeah, it's me. Huh?
Okay.
See, for me, I find things funnier, like, when you're trying to do a comedy and you're just not doing it very funny. That's not that funny to me. When you're trying to do something serious like this and being completely serious about it, but falling flat on your face, that's funnier to me. So,
But they weren't trying to be serious.
Listen, different
Yeah,
opinions
they
are
kinda
what make
were.
the world go round. Let's
Indeed.
just leave it at that.
All right.
they handle themselves somewhat seriously for what the
You
subject
just like
matter
dialogue
is.
in this movie?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out
what it
like,
was.
You said you liked Wesley Snipes' costume. What costume did he have beside a duster?
I mean, that's enough.
Okay.
It was a dope ass dust with the
I
red velvet on the
think
inside.
his like tactical vest
It's
armor
dope.
thing is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. All right.
That's
All
all
right.
it is.
The costume budget was only put into his costume. That was it.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Alright.
playing devil's advocate here.
Well, since
I
the
got no
majority of us did not recommend this movie, what would you recommend instead?
The Jefferson Twilight episode of Venture Brothers.
Yes, absolutely.
I haven't seen that, so I'm gonna go with Blade 1. Just watch Blade 1.
I mean,
Keeping in the genre of movies, I think Blade's a better option.
yeah, the first Blade.
Modern Vampires.
I mean,
no.
granted, I
Not
haven't
Modern
seen the
Vampires.
first Blade in a while, but I remember that club scene was real cool.
I saw it within
From
the last
Dusk
couple
Till
of
Dawn.
years, I think.
Dust Till Dawn is a good time.
I haven't seen that in like a decade at least. So.
If you wanted one where they're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna be stupid, Dust Till Dawn.
That's too much.
too much
too
for
much.
what?
Too much recommendation. I was looking for one.
I recommend you donate $20 and tell us what movie you want to watch.
Yeah,
Listener
I mean,
request for $20.
let's go with either of those. Let's go with either From Dusk Till Dawn or the first Blade.
The 4am podcast at gmail.com
Anyway,
via PayPal.
no time for that yet.
Always time.
What
Always.
time is it, Brian? What do we have coming up next for the people?
It's time for that D20 of Fate, that roll, to see what we're going to watch next. Yeah, so Tony thinks you're rolling, right?
That's what I'm told.
If you're wondering which movies we've already rolled for, if you go to 4ampodcast.podbean.com, there's a list of the episodes we've done already. You can check it out.
All right.
So 9.
It's a 9.
It's a 9, alright. Oh boy. 9 is 1984's The Neverending Story.
Oh,
Oh no.
We're going back to the 80s
I'm going to cry.
with
Oh man.
Falcor and Atreyu.
Oh man.
yeah, you guys
Don't
want
give
to
it
hear
all away,
something
Brian.
terrible?
Have you not seen this?
Want to hear something terrible? I have not seen all of the Neverending Story.
Well, it's like 4 hours long.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to sit there.
it never ends.
So these guys are going to be right on time next week. Or another movie will happen. There will be blood.
Like today in the bathroom.
Like today. I will shit bloody diarrhea all over
Oh. Okay. Now, if there's anyone that's still listening through all that garbage,
you. Congratulations.
yes. And what else do you have to tell the people, Rob?
Well, guys, if you want to hear your movie choice on the air, you can donate $20 to our PayPal account at the4ampodcast at gmail.com. If you enjoyed the show, please check out our website at 4ampodcast.podbean.com and consider subscribing. We have a new episode every week. Please help spread the word about the show by leaving a positive review on iTunes and liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter. You can find us both places at 4am podcast. That's the number 4am podcast. If you'd like to contact us, you can always reach us at the 4am podcast at gmail.com.
All right. So we'll hopefully have you all join us next time for the Never-Ending Story. But until then,
Juices.
I was literally gonna do that. Fucking Rob.
good night, everybody.
Atreyu.
Atreyu.
Falcor.
Atreyu. Atreyu.
No, let him finish.